So we'll have to get that on the calendar. Chris, I think we scored. I think we scored the big time this morning.
Did we?
Well, it's 9:30 exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So we probably are going to have to waste time because everyone's used to us being here at 9:32.
Right. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we've got time.
Yeah, I can go run to the restroom or get that cup of coffee.
That's right.
It is Thursday today here at Memory Bound and many other places too. I don't know why I say here at Memory Bound, but
Well,
and we're lucky because Chris is here today.
I'm back. I'm like a bad penny.
Yeah.
I just keep coming back.
And we're happy. We're happy. Chris was here 2 days, was it 2 days ago, right?
Yes, on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, and did that spiral book from the Christmas Spectacular collection from 49 and Market.
Yes.
And since we just mentioned that, that's a great little transition. We want to let everybody know that next Thursday, a week from today,
Yes.
next Thursday in the afternoon, Katie Pertite is going to be stopping at Memory Bound. She's traveling to Omaha, which is only a couple hours from us, and she's going to stop by Memory Bound in the afternoon next Thursday, and we're going to do a quick little live video with Katie. So I would say,
That's
Chris,
awesome.
if anyone has questions that you want to ask Katie Pertite, she's the designer at 49 and Market, then send us an email and we will ask her those questions on our live video. So
She's so talented. I just am in awe of the things she comes up with.
it's amazing. And
Yeah.
her newest collections we have would be Christmas Spectacular and Moonlit Garden, and they're both beautiful.
Yes, they are.
So we're very honored that she's going to stop by Memory Bound, and she's here. She was here once before last year when
Yep.
she was going through town, and she talked about how she designs things in the process, and she will be here in a week
Well, awesome.
in the afternoon.
I'm going to have to ask her what she went to college for. You said, is it okay if I say where she
Yeah,
went?
yes.
She went to school up in Ames, and I would like to know if she took, graphic design or what her major was.
So she went to Iowa State University, which is only, what would you say, 20 minutes from here, Chris?
Yes. Yep.
It's just north of Ankeny. So we get a lot of, it's funny because we get a lot of these parents, I'm going to say moms because it's usually the moms,
Yeah.
whose kids are going to Iowa State. So they stop at Memory Bound. If they're from afar,
Right.
they stop at Memory Bound and get their crafty fix and then visit their kids in college or pick up their kids or whatever it
Yeah.
might be.
And we carry the local college papers.
We
so
do. So
the colors and everything, they're able to put things together. It's wonderful.
it's perfect.
Yes.
And today's going to be perfect because Chris is here. Are we going to show tomorrow's? Do you
Well,
wanna do that
whatever you
first?
wanna do.
Well, you
Do you
got it
want-
all laid out here.
Okay.
So today Chris is here and she's going to show us how to make this really cute little gift box. And you can do it.
Yes, you can.
And then Chris had a challenge. She wasn't even here yesterday. When she stopped in, she had a challenge to make a coffee cup. So Chris can't turn down a challenge. So you're going to show us how to do
I'm
these
going
too?
to. Yes, this is the one that was all over the internet. It's a little smaller, taller, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. But I thought this looked more like a cocoa mug to me anyway. So I've changed
And
the
it's gonna hold
dimensions.
more stuff.
It is. I mean, look at all you can get in there. I've got a big bag of marshmallows, a candy cane. Diane put some caramels in that one and a little hot chocolate. So, and I have dimensions for both.
And, and Chris, we appreciate that. You are our paper engineer for sure. And I'm just showing those caramels because it's kind of funny, but the caramels are one of our #1 sellers.
Yeah, well, if they had ever had one, they'd know why.
Yes, they're really good, and you can order them. They're on miscellaneous products. So if you want to get some caramels, especially this time of year, I have a great nephew, and he loves them. But and they're big. They're
Yes,
really
they are.
big. And he will eat like 3 or 4 at a time, and I'm kind of thinking maybe you should like stop on those. So
Well, my mom used to have me pick up a box for her.
yeah, I remember that.
And when she passed, we found a whole box that wasn't open yet. And we got to laughing because she would always say, well, I'm getting low on caramels. And I said, really? And she goes, well, I eat one a day. I said, well, you're 92, eat as many as you want.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then when we were cleaning out her cupboards, we found a whole box. So I think she hid them from
once
herself.
or hid them from herself. Or
Yeah.
once she got down to a full box, she was getting low, and then she had to get some more.
Yeah, I knew it was time for me to come visit again.
Yeah, that's a really good story.
Yeah.
I love that about your mom. Okay, so today is Chris, and here's tomorrow, a peek at tomorrow.
Yes.
We have a new kit. It's mint and mistletoe. It uses the Kaiser Craft paper.
Aren't these
And
gorgeous?
the kit makes 4 cards and a folio. And we're going to launch, it's available now if you want to get it, if you just love from the little peek. You can order it now, and it also makes a folio.
We're just going to do a sneak.
Chris is going to do a quick flip through, and this is Katie's folio design. Katie Belding, our memory bound Katie.
Our Katie.
So I took her design, and you get instructions for that and instructions on how to decorate it in your kit. You get a magnet, you get color pictures.
This is
and-
just beautiful.
and I really like the collection. Diane and I both thought it has unique colors for the holidays.
Yes.
And we found it and just thought it was amazing.
I like anything that's not your typical
Right.
colors.
Very
you
different.
know.
So tomorrow we're going to
maybe-
show you how to do the folio, how to put the folio itself together. And it uses file folders. And then the kit's available now, or you can get it, well, whenever. Denise loves the colors. And
Yeah.
then we're getting a lot of caramel comments.
Oh.
Lots of caramel comments.
All right, I'm
So-
going to just set this back here so I don't goober
So I
on
got to
it.
get out a caramel so you can
Okay.
see. Since we're getting so many comments. So these are the caramels, and they are pretty big. You can see they're 79 cents.
Let's
and-
measure one of those, Kelly.
Oh, we're going to measure. Chris is
I've
measuring
got to
it.
measure that. That is like almost 1 3/4 inches by,
Maybe a little over 1.
or I was thinking just under 1, but they're huge.
They're very chunky.
Yes.
You can't really put the whole thing in your mouth unless you're a 13-year-old, like our great nephew. The kit's $22.99. So it's a real bargain. It really is for all that you get. Okay,
All
so
right.
Susie says they're delicious.
Yes, and somebody asked how many you could get in the box, and when I open it, we'll kind of look, and I'll tell you how you can get more in there if you want. So, shall we start with the treat box?
Let's start with the
All
box.
right.
This is a great day for this. I know a lot of you are needing little treats for teachers or coaches or neighbors, or maybe you're taking something to assisted living group and you want to have something fun to make, or your neighbors. And this is just a lot of fun.
We're just gonna, I used the Elizabeth Craft tag, which Diane used yesterday, and it's sold out, of course. I'm sure there's more coming in. It's longer than this. I just cut it off because it was a little too long for me. And then I used this die for the holly and the berry. I'm sure you have something at home. If you don't, this is a great die.
It's really, there's been so many makes. That's the new Tim Holtz. What's it called, Chris?
It is called Big Tidings.
Big Tidings, and the words on there are pretty big. They're bigger than shown there, I think.
And the nice thing is, I mean, I used this for the Noel kit that I did for the store.
Oh yeah, for the tree.
Yeah, but just being able to pick out these little things to add to your tags is
I really
fun.
like that tree on there too.
Yes, is very cute. And then I used a die I had at home, which we can't get anymore, to do the box opening. But as I said last week, I think that the Sizzix one.
There's other options.
Yeah.
Can you reach it, Chris? or
Yeah.
I can wheel.
Why
can
I
roll over
thought going underneath the light was going to mess things up.
there. It's fine. This is the scallop square, and you
Yes.
get 6 dies. And how much is that?
It is
it
$24.99.
$24.99.
Yep.
The thing about the Sizzix dies that I want to point out, if you get their nested shapes, a lot of dies are just very thin, like if you compare these two dies, you'll see this is just basically very skinny with a cutting edge, and Sizzix puts that little, I don't know what you want to call that, a little flange or a little bit extra piece of metal on theirs, which I think is really nice, and it keeps them from bending as much
Right.
and makes them a little more sturdy.
Agreed.
We have to, Chris, we have to interrupt for a
Okay.
very important message.
Yes.
Janie she says, good morning. She's on her way to Colorado to see her son. He's home from Iraq, and she's going to kiss his face off.
Oh,
Isn't that, how
yes.
exciting. I actually got a few goosebumps
yes.
with that. So you enjoy safe travels, and, thank him for his service.
Definitely.
And I'm glad that he's back home in the U.S. and safe.
Definitely. I get it.
You've got a military grandson.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so here's our box.
So now, if you want to I could get 4 to 5 caramels in here easily. If you want more, then we're just going to leave this middle section out, because you can have 2 or you can have 1. I'll show you all that when I make it. That way you can fit more in.
And we know that Dove chocolates, which are my favorite, dark Dove chocolates, fit in those little
fit
squares.
in there also. You could put M&Ms. You could a variety of things.
Chris, I'm going to say what I always say when you start doing something like this. I can't believe you made it yourself.
Oh,
So this is a fun box that she's going to show us how to make. You probably have cardstock and paper at home. If not, we have huge selections
Yes.
of holiday paper available.
And I just pulled out a few that had smaller prints, which Doug put online.
Oh, they're online.
Yes,
Okay,
they're
perfect.
online.
So a smaller print is kind of important. I don't know if you want to, or
Yep.
maybe we could show them. Well, let's show it now since we're here.
To me, it was important because you want to show. I thought this was kind of cute
I
with the
absolutely
candy
love
cane.
that one.
And I just pulled ones that I thought coordinated with it nicely.
So these are on our calendar. Chris
Yes.
picked out some papers for you, and they're on our calendar. Oh, that's a little more elegant.
Yep.
That's pretty.
And then the one I'm doing today is this one. I thought I must have a thing for holly this year. I don't know.
You, Holly, and me. I'm candy cane.
And then there's this one, again, a smaller pattern that you're going to be able to see when you're done with your box. Oh, and look how cute these candy canes are
With
with
the candy
this.
cane paper.
Yeah, you could somehow incorporate that. That's pretty cute.
I have one of those on my name tag.
I saw that. Okay.
These little candy canes are really nice. You get 16. They're self-adhesive, and they've got little glitter on them, and they're $2.29, and they just add a little bit of fun to anything.
Fun. I stuck it on the cocoa cup.
She's got it on her
Yep.
tag.
There you go.
And there's a lot of embellishments like this from Little Birdie. If you are, like for my name tag, no, I did not have to add extra adhesive. I was thinking maybe I did, but I didn't. But it's a good idea if you want to add a little extra liquid glue under those.
All right.
And look at Chris. She's even got dimensions, which we'll take pictures of for you.
And I have one for the cocoa. We'll do that.
And we know, Chris, that when you show us how to make something, you make it doable, because
Oh,
I'm like,
definitely.
making that box looks really hard.
Well, what fun is it to struggle over something? I mean, I like to challenge myself, but I want to have fun too. I want to be able to go, oh, yep, I can do this. And
That's why we're happy you figured it out for us.
oh,
we
well,
can just
you're
coast.
welcome. All right. So the bottom part of your box measures, and I know it's the 16ths, but it is what it is. It is 5 11/16 by 5 11/16. And you're going to score all around at 1 inch.
So it's 5 11/16 by 5 11/16. So it is square.
Correct.
And Janet just posted all the Little Birdie embellishments. They're really cute. I have the pickup truck on my name tag too.
It's adorable.
So it's
too.
really cute.
Yes. And then decide which side you want. Do you want the inside of your box to have, this is, of course, the Simple Stories
Yeah, we love
color
the color
vibe.
vibe.
And it's going to be just like any other box. I'm cutting little tabs out of this part of it. And I just always try to do the same. So since I cut towards the line this time, I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm not going to
So you just kind of turn it,
Turn
and you're
it.
cutting in on one line, and then
Yep.
just slicing a little extra off on the outside.
You're going up to your inch score line. And I sometimes forget that we might have some first-time viewers, so I apologize if I am not explaining the full thing. And then go all the way around.
I think it's works well when you take it and you keep it in your hand and you just turn it one turn each time, and then you're always cutting on the right.
Exactly. Because when I first started doing boxes, there were times when maybe I cut off a whole tab and went, oh, that's not going to work. And fold over the mountain, and that way your paper's not going to crack as easily. And then, even then, if you just go, you know, I don't really want the inside of the box to be polka dot, then go ahead and you can
So fold
refold.
first, whatever you do, fold first over the little bump or the mountain.
Yep.
Because sometimes paper cracking is a real problem.
Yes, it is. Now, I had my score tape in here this morning.
Chris is using the Caterpillar crease, and we sold out of these on Monday, but we have some more coming. So if you'd like this scoreboard, it's unique because the stylus or the scoring tool is a stylus, so it's got the little ball tip. And I don't think you ever cut into your paper on this, do you, Chris?
No, I haven't.
So-
Remind me to buy this because I need a 1/4 inch all the time anyway, and don't know what I did
Chris
with
lost
mine.
her score tape.
Oh, do you have one? Thank you.
Penny's got some.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Penny. Penny to the rescue.
That's right. Yay. Now, whichever, I'm going to have this the inside of my box. So I need to put tape on the opposite side. So
Okay.
put your tape on the outside. And I always like to then make sure that I'm right. And I will take time to fold and go, yep, that's going to work out just perfectly. And I just run it from corner to corner.
So we're putting the tape on the outside of the corners of the box diagonally.
Correct. Or you could use liquid glue too. Does not matter. Whatever you're happiest with. All right. And there we go. I didn't bring my little pick. It's amazing how nice the die pick works.
Yes, you have used that before and it does work nice. And she's talking about you can take, if you have a little die pick, you can pick off the backing of your score tape. Hey, Penny, can you do us a favor? We have a question about the caramels being in a peanut-free facility, and I'm guessing they're not, but we're going to have somebody look on the box to make sure, because they have different flavors. Can you look on the caramel box and see if it says anything about peanut-free facility?
Oh, okay.
So Susan, we are checking on the caramels and we will let you know. Penny's checking it out for us.
All right, and just like
And, then
that,
and there we have a box.
we have a box. Now, I could put a little liquid glue in there, and I might just do that to,
Nice information on the box. Manufactured in a peanut-free facility that uses almonds, but not in this product or on the same equipment.
Oh my gosh, that is good. Susan, there's your answer. And look, you guys, there's only 90 calories per caramel. So, and you get some 4% of your fiber also.
oh, well then, they are healthy.
So you got to eat. If you get 4%, how many do you have to eat to get your 100% fiber? That's like a homeschool. Thank you, Penny.
Oh, golly. Well, let's see. That would be 10, 20,
About 25.
25. Yep.
So
All
if you
right.
ate 25 caramels.
I can do it. I have faith in myself.
Well, you are your mother's daughter.
That's right.
I mean, and your mom, we don't know how many caramels she consumed. She said one a day, but I would say that too.
I question that towards the end, but that's okay. All right. So this is your lid.
It's 2 pieces for the
It's
lid?
2 pieces for the
Okay.
lid. And this piece is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4.
That's doable.
And this one is, I'm going to change it on the thing. I put 5/8, but it's 5 4/8. by 5 4/8.
So like 5.5.
Yeah, it's just a little off because I wasn't getting enough room. I didn't have any overhang really, or this showing, and I wanted some of it showing on here. I think a lot of times what I do is I make something and I go, yeah, I don't like that, and then I change it and forget to change my dimensions. So
Chris,
it's
that's okay. You're changing it and you're improving it for us, so we
That's
don't have
right.
to figure that out. Barbara says the amount of fiber in the caramel is better than her protein bar. She's going to rethink her diet. I didn't realize that you had two layers, but look at the inside of the lid is the cardstock, and then the outside is the pattern, and then you've got a little bit of border there. That's really neat.
well, and it firms it up, I think, so that helps too. So then just lay it, I put liquid glue on here so that I had a little wiggle room. And I'm just going to try to get it as even as I can all the way around. And I shouldn't be working on
On your crease board.
on my crease board because it's a little wonky.
And you don't want to get glue on it either.
Well, that too. But it was making my eyes.
This is real. Oh, yes, I see what you mean. This is really pretty paper. Chris is using, for this box, she's using the paper from Simple Stories, Simple Vintage, 'Tis the Season. And this, we use this in Merrymakers, so some of you that were in Merrymakers think that this looks a little familiar.
Then you're right. I mean, isn't that just soft
It's
and
very pretty.
and-
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a minute and let it dry well.
Dry, okay.
Now, I'm going to get the crease board back out. For the inside
Oh, that's right, we have to do the inside.
of your box, these pieces here. Now, on the dimensions, I put 1 or 2 pieces for this because if you want it divided into 4s, you'd just add another one of these over here.
So you could divide it in half, you could divide it in quarters.
Yeah. Or, yeah, it's,
Okay.
or
So
like
you-
mine right now is,
Or you can
I
do
don't know what that is.
threes.
Yeah.
3 sections.
All right. So for this first main piece, I use.
So we're doing this piece right here, the big one.
Correct. It is 5.5 by 3 5/8. You're going to put it on the 5.5 side, and you're going to score it at 1 3/4, 2 3/4.
And we are going to post the directions here.
For some
This
reason,
is rethinking.
I am
this one.
rethinking. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. But we're going to find out
Let's
together.
find out if it is.
Yeah, 2 3/4. There we go.
The 'Tis the Season from Simple Stories is so beautiful, and we've got. I think we have everything for that: the foam stickers, the ephemera, the bits and pieces, pretty much everything.
So it was correct. So it's 1 3/4, 2 3/4, and 3 3/4 is what I scored it at.
Oh, that's easy to remember.
Yep.
But
And then you're just going to go over the mountain
whoops.
and then you're going to do it like so you've got valley, mountain, valley when you're done. And then that just goes
Oh my gosh.
inside your box. Now, you can glue it down if you want, or you don't have to. This one I glued down, but once you put something inside of it, it's going to stay in place, if that makes sense. And that way, too, you're not married to it being one way or the other. You can change
Right.
it up if you want. So,
That just looks so professional.
well, I am a professional.
I know
No.
you are. I know you are. She is.
I'm kidding.
But I mean, how you figured out the inside of the box, I just think that's really cool.
Well, Kelly, I am not one to take credit where I watch Pinterest, and then if I don't like something, I change it.
I know
But-
but that's what makes it cool for us, Chris. You make it doable and you change it up to make them even better.
Well, good. Yeah. When I first did this, I was like, oh, hey, look how easy that was.
I know.
It's just all.
It was an aha.
Well, good. Now you could, if you wanted, you could make it this way and then have polka dots.
Have a little bit of contrast.
Yeah, whatever you want. All right, so then this is the one that you can do 1 or 2, depending on if you want it divided up in 4 places or 3. It is 5.5 by 1 5/8. So the nice thing is your score lines are the exact same as the other piece was. So 1 3/4, 2 3/4, and 3 3/4.
So it's the same, which makes sense because it's the same. The box is square.
Correct. And then you're going to do that same thing where you're making yourself
Make a little mountain.
mountain. And then that is going to go just like that in there. Again, if you want to glue it down, you can, but you sure don't have to because things are going to stay in place once you start putting things inside.
I see what you're saying. So glue it down if you want to, or you can, or you don't have to.
Yep, exactly. All right, so the inside of your box is already done. Now we're going to go back to our lid. And it's just so much easier if you glue your pattern paper down to your cardstock type paper before you start scoring it.
Okay.
And I'm going to score it before I cut it out, and it will become apparent why
Okay.
when I get done. So again, you're going to score every inch.
Every inch.
Yep. And you can score it on the other side if you need to.
So you're going to turn it
Yep.
and score it. Okay.
yeah,
so
sorry.
we're kind of making it just like we made the bottom, but it's a different size and it's different measurements, and it's got 2 layers of paper.
Yep. So you're going to have to push a little harder. But
We can do it.
yeah, you can. I shouldn't have said every inch. I should have said an inch on all 4 sides, but
It's okay.
I doubt if anybody's
We got-
making it right now this minute. So
You know, Chris, I think, what was I thinking?
I don't know.
I have to think for a minute because I
Okay.
thought we could do, one of my demos is going to be a craft along.
Oh, how
But
fun.
now I can't remember what demo it is.
Oh. All right, so now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but you can see where the score lines are.
Yep, we can see. Some of them are a little bit more bold than others, but there's a score line around the entire piece.
Right. And if you want, you can go ahead, give it a little bend, just to get your crease a little bit more. I don't think I have to. But now, I have something to go by. If I hadn't scored, I would be trying to find the whole middle
Right.
of the whole thing. Now I'm just trying to find the middle between those score lines. This die is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I wouldn't go any larger than that because it would take up too much of your
Okay, so
lid.
that's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4.
Yes.
You could go smaller.
Yes, definitely.
Or you could not put a.
Oh yeah, you
a
wouldn't have
window.
to. So I am going to use my wonderful yellow
I
tape.
know we do love the yellow tape.
Yes,
It's the
we
only
do.
tape we carry at Memory Bound because it is the best. It's the Spellbinders craft tape, and it comes in 3 widths, and it's for things like this when you need to keep a die in place, because you know if you roll it through without taping it down, it can shift,
Oh, exactly.
and then you will not be in the middle.
No, and then for me, I would have ruined my project.
Is our greenery? Look at you guys. We have a decorated table. I don't know if our greenery is going to be in your way, Chris.
It should be fine.
And this is actually for sale. So I was going to tell you, I have this at home, and it's beautiful, and it's $32.99, and I think it's probably 6. Well, the table's 8 feet, so it is just under 8 feet. If you want to count the stem, it's 8 feet.
So the only thing I would say on this is if you choose to use a die that has stitching on it and you want that stitching to show, then you're going to want to cut on your pattern side so that that stitching shows, because
okay.
I'm doing it on the back side.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Yep, thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and roll it through a couple times.
She's cutting through 2 widths, so you have to remember that. And you know, If you cut it and it doesn't cut through, you just put it back in and cut it again.
That's right. But we're
How did it
good.
do? Did it pop through?
It sure did.
Now that Chris is using a die that's no longer available, and believe me, we searched and searched, and she said that the scallop framelits from Sizzix would be a great substitution, and you would have various sizes that you could use.
Right.
You could even do a couple little squares. Chris, you could take this one, and I wonder if these little squares in the middle, if you could put 4 of them on your lid.
Oh.
So there you go. Or you could use a circle. Chris brought over a circle, and we have scallop circles. So you could do a heart if you're making them for
Oh,
Valentine's
wouldn't that
Day.
be cute?
So there, or you could do 4 little hearts. You know those Tim Holtz?
Yes.
I can't think
The
of what they're called.
Are these stackable? No.
Oh, I can't remember now, but the Tim Holtz shapes.
And then keep this for something else. 'cause
Yeah, yes.
Wouldn't that make a pretty card front? You
It
just
would.
put
It'd be
Merry Christmas or
gorgeous.
something on there. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and get this.
So while you're folding that, Chris and I talked earlier. She's making a Christmas box, but this could be for birthdays, graduation,
Easter.
retirement, Easter, whatever. And Shannon just said you could put 2 rectangles.
Oh,
on
yeah.
your lid.
And now we're going to do the same thing that we did for the bottom. We're just doing it for the lid.
Barbara said you could use a Christmas tree shape.
Oh, wasn't
So I love all your ideas, and thank you, because if you give an idea, that helps all of us.
that? Yes. And Tim has those great Christmas trees. The
Oh, yes.
stackable Christmas trees. So there would be all sorts of sizes. Okay.
Then you could have a Christmas tree tag shape.
Kelly,
We might have
why
to
didn't we?
I don't think we have a bell, but I think we need to get those Christmas tree dies.
I'm just going to use my liquid glue for this, I guess.
Well, that's
Oopsie.
good, because we saw you with the tape,
Yes.
and now we can see it with the liquid glue.
So same thing. You're doing it on the pretty side.
Penny, could you get us the Sizzix Christmas tree stacklet framelits? I think they're right across from Register 3. Okay, sorry everybody. I'll put the camera back on what Chris is doing instead of the crease board.
Oh, I think they've all seen me glue.
Well, this is the glue press, and this is what we've been talking about. We've got a lot of you on the list when they become available in December. If you're not on the list, give us a call. You don't have to put anything down on it. If you change your mind, it's okay. But that way we can guarantee that you're on our first list that when they come in. It sounds, we were told maybe December 18th that they would be available to ship to us. They're probably not going to make it for Christmas. I mean, they might, but we can't say for sure. And this is the Christmas tree, the framelits, which it doesn't have to be a Christmas tree. It can be any
No.
tree. Last year we did an amazing demo with this die. We showed you how to do place cards and decorations. And we will have Chris measure this to see if it would work for the box or not. I'm not sure if it would.
All right. So now it's all together.
Oh gosh.
And what we're going to do is I had Doug link this also. This is a heavier acetate. You can kind of hear it. If you use the really light acetate, it has a tendency to get wavy.
Okay.
So you want something with some weight to it.
And that's what's in this box. And that's what
Yes.
makes it look more like a professional box. A professional box, but custom made.
And because my opening was 3 1/4, I'm just going to 3 1/2. I'm going to have very little wiggle room. I mean, you could go a 1/16 of an inch past that and be all right. But there's not a lot of wiggle room with this, with a piece of acetate. And it looks like it's
It's invisible, Chris.
well, yeah,
Chris is
probably.
cutting an invisible
yeah.
piece of paper. We can't see it at all.
No, you're just gonna have to believe me that it's there.
And when you get it, you're going to go, oh, it's got a film on it.
Yeah, or it's scratchy or it's foggy.
Right. That's because they cover it so that it won't be scratchy when you go to use it for your project. And there's a film, is it on both sides?
I think it's on both sides typically.
And I may have taken it off my other side already. I'm trying to remember if I used, I used the 1/8" score tape
Oh, you did?
for this. Yep.
Put
I
it
should-
around the edge? Is that what you did?
I did, because nobody's going to see it. Make sure that it's going to fit in there before you,
Yes.
that you didn't
Measure
miss.
twice, glue once.
Exactly. So, I should, if I was going to lay this down, I should have done it before I glued my box together. But instead, I'm going to lay it right on top of
So
my
you're saying that
acetate.
you would,
we're doing a, go.
okay, little break there. Okay, so you're saying normally you would put your tape in the lid before you glue the sides
Before I glue
up?
the sides
Okay.
up, yes.
Gail wondered if you could put the acetate between these layers, which
Oh, maybe.
you could if you cut them separately.
Sorry,
I mean,
there's-
you could cut them together, but don't glue them together.
right. Yeah,
So Gail, that's a very good idea. Then you could put your acetate right between them and give it a try.
and the reason I put them together before I cut the opening, though, was so that you don't have, otherwise you'd have to try to be so precise in cutting that
Unless
twice.
you put, Chris, you could put some repositionable adhesive
Oh.
and cut it together and then pull it apart.
There you go.
There's
and
an
then put
idea.
the, I like that.
There's always, we just love everyone's ideas, and I truly mean that. I think we all learn from each other, and the more ideas, the better.
Exactly, because there's been times when you think, oh no, this is the best way, and somebody suggests something, and
like,
it makes your life so
"Oh,
much
yeah.
easier. All
That'll work.
I'm going to have to try and get this
It's probably tricky to take off of the...
a little bit.
So, Chris, while you're peeling that off, I just was going to show this because I do have this at home. I've got I've got 3 of these because put them on our fireplace, and then I have an extra
Oh.
just because I had to have it. But it's got like the eucalyptus leaves and then the little white berries and pine cones. And this is from Sullivan's, which is a little bit nicer. Oh no, this is Primitives by Kathy, which is a great company, and it's $32.99. And I think it's probably our last one because I didn't buy this one.
There's 2 more hanging on that edge, right?
Oh, we have 2 more. Okay, so we have several of these.
Which is nice because a lot
Yeah,
of
if
times
you-
people want more than one.
Right, and this one has not been fluffed up. You know, if you get... Oh, wait. Okay, I apologize. This is 2.
2 of them.
So they are not
Okay.
8 feet. I thought that seemed kind of long. They're
Right.
4 feet. A little more than
More-
4 feet.
Yeah.
They put 2 of them together here. I don't know. I think Katie and Maggie maybe did our decorating,
think so,
Chris. I don't
too.
know.
All right, so I've got my
got all her little sticky
I've
off.
got my score tape there, and I am just going to come in here and lay it down, make sure that I'm off of the edge of the opening, and pray for the best because we're on live.
Looks good, and you can't even tell it's glued in
No,
there. It just
no.
seriously, everyone, it looks like it's just part of it. You can't even tell.
All right, so let's do the main thing and see if it fits, and it does.
Oh,
Woohoo!
oh my gosh, Chris.
So there you go. Just like that, you've got your little treat box. Any questions?
Let's see. I don't see any questions
Okay.
or ideas. If you have ideas, throw them
Oh,
out here.
please.
We love to have them. Janet did link the acetate paper,
Okay.
so if you wanted to get some of that, you can. And
All right.
So these are her 2 boxes, and like she said, you could make them without any dividers, or you could just do the middle divider, or you could do all 4 corners, depending on what you're
Yep.
going to put in them. And you know, Chris, it doesn't have to be candy. You could give
No.
maybe put gift cards in there. You
Yep.
could do, maybe you've got a crafty friend and you want to put some embellishments.
Well, and when I first brought it in, remember I said if you left this out, you could put like a big sugar cookie
Oh,
in there.
that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be, I would take that. I would love that. Everyone loves it, Chris. They're
Thank
all
you.
talking about how awesome it is. So, and you make it look doable for
It
all
is
of us.
doable. That's.
I looked at your box and I'm like, oh, okay, Chris.
Yeah, here she
okay.
goes again.
All right. Oh, let's, before we do our next
yeah.
project, let's just measure this.
Okay.
We had somebody say you could cut out a tree, and we're going to measure it
I
and
don't
see.
have a.
Is there one in one of
ruler.
those drawers?
Let's see.
We got to get a ruler because this is memory bound.
I think I have one over
I think
here.
Chris
maybe.
is finding one.
There's one here too. Thanks. Oh, that might be too big.
They want to know if you can show your Christmas folio with Dear Santa again. So this, Chris used Christmas Spectacular. So I'm wondering, Marcia, if you mean Diane's book with Dear Santa, or if you mean Chris's book with Christmas Spectacular.
And it is on the blog
Yeah.
where you can see all the pictures. Kelly put them side by side, just like we did in the video. And I can definitely bring it back. But
And yeah, so if
it's
that's
not
what you're
here.
talking about, Janet can put a link to our blog. And Chris, I just think this is kind of cool because Karen says she gives away candy. She makes candy for treats
Oh.
and gives it away, and she could put it in these little boxes.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be nice. Okay, so this second tree, I mean, obviously this little
The little
guy
tree would work for sure.
for sure. He's only a little under 2.5 by 1 3/4. The second one, from widest to widest, is 2 3/4
Wonder if it's too tall.
by 3.5, and the box it's
would-
going to be
it'd be
it's
kinda
going to be
close.
pretty tight. Yes, but there might be other Christmas tree dies out there too. that
Absolutely.
would work.
Okay, Marcia, Janet just linked the blog, and just to let everyone know, we have an amazing blog that Janet keeps up for us. So all of our morning videos, we take pictures and it goes on our blog, and Janet writes about it, and she puts links to the videos, she puts up the pictures, there'll be links to the link for the product, and all you have to do is go to memorybound.com, and then up at the top you'll see a button to click to go to our blog. And so it's really easy to find that way, so you can always see. Susie wants to know if the tree could go diagonally. I think it possibly could.
Well,
We
especially
think maybe it could.
since it's
What's the?
yeah,
Oh,
because
sure.
you're it. Yep.
Yeah,
definitely.
great idea, Susie.
One-
It definitely
yeah.
could go diagonally.
Why didn't we think of that, Kelly?
I don't know. That's why we have viewers.
That's right.
And Charmel said a heart for Valentine's Day.
Yes. Oh, all sorts of shapes would be wonderful.
And Marcia wants to see, it's your book, and it is on the blog, so you can see all the pictures right there. Chris doesn't have it here today, or we would pull it out and show it. And Betty wants you to know, Chris, the 3-inch Kleenex box she was able to make a pattern,
Oh, good.
but then she glued it to the box since they would not be changing it out.
Oh,
So good idea,
That's
Betty.
a wonderful idea.
Very good idea.
I haven't gotten to Walmart yet, but I need to go out and see.
Very
Now-
good idea.
All right. So a customer had contacted Diane and asked if I could make some cocoa cups. And at first I said
And this
no.
was yesterday. I want everyone to know this was yesterday, and Chris had the day off, and she did this.
So this is the one I found on the internet, and to me he's a little, he's a little
skinnier and taller.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
had
which
tall,
is fine.
If you have, tall things to put in, you can.
Yeah, I mean the cocoa and the candy cane, the caramel still fits in there fine. But I decided I wanted to make
need a bigger
something
cup?
a little. Yeah, I wanted to make something where I could put marshmallows in.
Oh, look at the little marshmallows.
And
Chris,
that kind of
when you
stuff.
said mini marshmallows, I wasn't thinking those, but that's what our grandsons eat when they come to our
Oh.
house. In measuring cups. They carry
funny.
measuring cups around with mini marshmallows.
well, I have a bag at home if you'd like, because we don't eat them. I was giving them as treats to the dog yesterday, so.
Oh, and I bet he loved them.
Oh boy, he was a happy camper. This is where I used that cute little candy cane.
And that was the Little Birdie embellishments,
Yep.
and Janet had linked. They have all kinds of different little things. And what's nice about them is you get a lot on one sheet. So if you are making treats that you're taking somewhere and you need to make multiples, you get a lot on one sheet. And there's trucks, there's Christmas trees, there's presents, and they're not very expensive. This is $2.29 for 16 candy canes.
Sorry, I was choking and I didn't want to do
Chris was
that.
choking. Are you okay, or do you need a water?
I think I'll be okay,
Okay.
but thank you.
Well, Diana can get you a water if you want.
Would you grab
Yeah.
mine that's up front? It's in a black cup with my name on it. Okay. Just so I
We
remember who
can't
I
have
am.
you choking because we need to
No.
know how to make this cup.
So I think we're just going to do this one, although on the sheet, both sides
Oh,
Are there.
Chris, you're the best.
well, you know, as long as I'm having to write it down for myself, why not just type it out quick for everyone else? I'll make sure that
Well, and I
Kelly
want you
has
to
one to
know,
take a photo.
Rosetta says thank you. She likes your version.
Oh,
and she's
thank
glad
you.
you made both of them.
well, we're going to do this, the larger one. Thank you, Diana. My husband made me a cup one year with my name on it and palm trees because he knows Hawaii is my favorite place. So
Well, I think Hawaii could be a lot of our favorite places for sure.
it's my dream to move there some year.
Chris, I hope you don't move there
Anytime
while
soon.
Memory Bound is still going.
Shoot. Alrighty, for this one, I used a 12-inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of paper
Okay, for the cup
for
body.
for the cup body, and I scored it at every 1.5 inches
On the edges or
on the 5
oh, on the whole
12.
thing. Okay.
So
This is fun. We're going to do a little math.
1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, 9, and 10.5, which then gives you an 1.5 to the 12. So it works out just perfect.
Perfect. So that was 12 by 5 1/4.
Yep. And then you're going to quarter turn it so that you're now on the 5 1/4, and you're going to score it. I changed it from the one I did because I decided it wasn't quite as long as I wanted it. So we're going to do it at 2 inches.
Okay.
And we're going to find out together if it works.
Well, Shannon says this is perfect. She's meeting a friend for coffee tomorrow.
Oh,
I could
fun.
see coffee shop gift cards in these.
Wouldn't that be fun?
You know, if you want to make it coffee or
Yeah.
hot cocoa themed. Chris has got hot cocoa packets and marshmallows and candy canes.
Now I will show you. These are going to end up being your handles. I made, because this one was tall and skinny, I made a skinnier handle. It only made sense to me. And and this one is here.
It's more of a chunky cup.
That's right. Now, what I did, I used my infinity circles, which is what I brought out because you have so many choices.
Oh. So here's the Hero Arts, and she's talking about these dies, and you get 18 different dies. This is the Infinity from Hero Arts, and 18 pieces, even that little tiny one.
Yeah.
And this is $25.99. So it goes from 4.5 by 4.5 all the way down to 0.16 by 0.16. That would be a very small die.
Very tiny.
That's called a losable die.
Yeah, oh boy.
So anyway, that's what she used for her circles.
So
Oh, good.
as you can
yeah.
see, this made the thicker, chunkier circle. And then when I wanted the skinnier one, I just went up a size in my die, and that gives you
Perfect.
your skinny one. I can cut one out later if you want, but all right. So I didn't think this out very well when I went to make it because it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it's got a lot of busy pattern on it, but
Yep.
we get the idea, and it's going to look really neat.
I think it will be fun when it's done.
There's so cute. I want to get this one a little closer. So this is the one that she's making right now. Is this one right here? I'll get back a little bit so you can see. Look at the cute little handle, and then she tied the tag on the handle. It's got the little candy cane on it that we showed you, and she's got a candy cane in it. Oh, and this one has caramels.
Yeah, Diane
Those caramels.
told us that she eats or puts a caramel in her hot chocolate.
So, and here's the other size, so you can see them. And I'll take pictures. We'll put pictures on our blog. But there's where you can kind of see the different sizes. They're just really cute, and
Thank you.
you could put a lot of different things in them.
Oh yeah, you could put a little baggie of chocolate kisses. Mm-hmm. Like you said, put a gift card to a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Let's not show me while I'm choking.
Okay.
Anyway, so what I'm going to do is cut out. So we scored every 1.5 inches, and we've. Now, why is this?
While you're figuring that out, I'm going to say Donna mentioned something that's kind of obvious, but I didn't think of, and that's tea.
Oh yeah.
Tea.
Yep.
They think you need a water.
Well, I have
She's
one.
got one.
Maybe I should have put gin in it or something. I don't know.
Something a little stronger.
Yes. Okay, so on your last fold, you're going to cut away the one bottom one.
So we're cutting it off totally, Chris?
Yep,
So
we're gonna-
different than the boxes.
We're going to get rid of it. And then you're going to go ahead and make this part a tab.
So just shaving a little bit off of that edge.
Exactly.
It's
So
going to make it line up straighter. You're not going to have a piece sticking out. Oh, that's
But
perfect.
I think you can see it better that way. So we've done that. And then you're going to go ahead and cut up every one of these
So each score line, you just cut straight up.
straight up to your 2-inch. And again, Chris wasn't thinking when she used this paper.
It is kind of busy paper, but we're talking everyone through it, and it'll
That's
be
right.
just fine.
It will be fine.
Julie wants to know if you are cutting directly on the score line.
I am.
Okay.
I could get a different piece of paper maybe, I don't know. But you're going to figure it out. You're just going to cut up your score line to the 2-inch mark. At least if I mess this up, I can blame the fact that I couldn't see where I was cutting. We'll go with that.
I think you're going to be perfect.
We've got little elves over there making stuff. I can hear them.
Yeah, we've got little workers over here on the other side of the room, getting things ready. The wood blocks are back in stock, so they made me think of it when we panned over there. So if you were wanting some of the 3/4-inch wood blocks, they are back in stock. They make really
right.
cute little presents.
So then I'm going to glue
Is that
my
the
tab.
first piece that we did?
Yep, that we cut off
Okay.
that part.
And then you'll see all of these little pieces that have been cut through up to the score line.
And you're just going to glue your first part up
It's
to that
gonna look
score
like
line.
a cup. Oh, and you have to match your plaids.
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure if you have directional paper, just a tip from somebody that might have messed something like that up once, that you are going the right direction, or you won't be happy.
Right. Yep. It always makes a difference, and I usually figure that out after I go to glue it, and I'm like,
Trying
oh,
to figure out how you're
man."
doing this bottom part, Chris. Do you just kind of
Well-
fold them down?
With the smaller one, it's a little easier because you have a even number of tabs. So then you just start going side to side.
Okay.
This one, I just kind of decided how I
kinda
like
work it.
Yeah, and then I just started gluing parts of it.
So Chris just kind of pushed them down to however they seem to work best.
Yep, and then I just start gluing edges. Make sure you leave one edge not glued because that's going to be on top and you don't want to have glue on it.
So basically, you get the right size of paper, you score it, do a little slicing, and then you just fold it and push all the bottom pieces in, and you got your basic.
Right.
So if you don't want to make a cup, you've got another container.
And I mean, wouldn't that be cute if you leave the handle off and you could put your Copic markers in it, or
A little Christmas tree, a little.
yep. And
So we've learned, I mean, really, you could make it either way.
you could do anything with this. Yep. And it's fun because it's a different shape. Mm-hmm. You know, something that you're not
Tie a
gonna see
ribbon. If you
everywhere.
did it like this, you could tie a ribbon around it or put a scalloped edge at the top, or
And then you just want to take something hard and push on that bottom for a while to make sure get your glue
get it flat and
flattened.
stuck.
Yeah. Okay, so there's your cup shape.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're going to take the handle. You could score it, but I'm too lazy to bother doing that. So I just
fold it.
fold it up so it meets, and then push it down. And I found it easier if I glued part of it together first.
Okay.
So you just want to stay away from the edges. Or
Just glue the center part.
stay away from your score area.
I think this part is a wowzer. Oh my gosh. Linda said put a handle over the top for an Easter basket.
Oh, wouldn't that be cute?
And Rosetta offered this idea that you could put a circle die cut here on the bottom.
Yep.
If you wanted to cover your bottom, you definitely could do that. And I want to, while you're cutting, oh wait, she's showing us something
so
important.
now we're going to go to where that score mark is, and we're going to cut that because you didn't glue it. So now, I didn't cut it all the way.
So where you folded, it's going to get cut. I think
Yes.
this is a wowzer part for me.
And you want to have your nice little scissors like I do. And then I just simply opened it up a little bit. I tried to get it even, obviously, on the sides. And you can bend it backwards if you want to get a good score. But this is the part that's going to then attach to
Oh
your
my
cup.
gosh, that's very tricky.
And then I also kind of know where I've stopped, and then you can go back and glue a little bit more if you want. And you try to obviously get it as even as you can, but I'm not one to fret about it. I'm not going to get out my
Not going to
ruler.
measure. You
And,
could measure if you want
yeah,
to.
there's nothing wrong with that.
So here's this one. I wanted to show how it looks when you get it all glued on. And then Chris, I wanted to show this too.
Yeah.
Because do you remember, guys, that piece that she just cut a little sliver off at an angle? There it is. And that gives you this smooth edge at the top. You don't have that little piece that sometimes peeks out when you do things like that.
And I looked yesterday when I was at the store for snowflake stickers because I thought that would be cute.
Oh, sure.
And then when I came in this morning, I saw them up front. So we do have a few packs
Yeah,
of
so
little
you could
snowflake
put some
stickers.
snowflake stickers
Wouldn't
on
it be, well, on the tag? Mm-hmm. So then find whatever side you want your handle on. Does not matter. And this is the only part that takes a little while is because you have to kind of hold it there so that it dries nicely.
And Janet has a question about, I don't know if it's possible. She wondered if you could put the handle in the seam, like
Oh,
before you glue it shut.
Right, maybe.
Give it, if you're making the cups, give it a try and let us know how it works.
Yeah, it might work really well. Again, you know, this is the part that I am not good at because I am not patient enough to
Are we
wait.
going to watch some water boy?
Well,
Kind of like watching.
yes, yeah, watching paint dry, watching glue dry.
It's really cute, Chris. I
Thank
think
you.
it's a great project. And we have the paper, if you want to use the same paper that Chris did, we have that linked on our calendar. Or if you have paper at home and you even want to try maybe doing a mock-up or see what you can do, you can always give that a shot too.
But then we have so many snowflake dies at,
Oh, yeah.
at the store, but I just had this tiny thing at home, and that's why I used that, because that's
love
all
it
I
with the
had.
little silver.
But
And there's the
then,
tag.
yeah, you tie your little tag on there.
And I like the
And-
craft with that too.
Well, you know, if I could marry craft, I would. I use it for
I
all
have
sorts
not heard
of
that
things.
before, but I like that comment. It's pretty funny.
But anyway, there you go. I have dimensions for both size cups. You do them the exact same way, just score in different spots. But I mean, the putting it together is going to be the same.
Like Lisa said, cute idea for coworkers, the mailman or mail person. Jan says, as always, Chris, amazing. Bottoms
thank
up. That's funny. Oh, I think this was great. We actually had kind of a double today because Chris made the box. She showed us how to make the little box, which is really fun. And you know, a lot of us are gift giving this time of year. So
Right.
And then she made the cups.
And I had to get my my stuff in. I'm running out of time because I'll be gone, and the calendar is full. Katie
we're
has
filling
done a
up.
great
We're
job.
filling up.
Yes.
Let's see. And they're asking about the tag. If you could just tell them about.
What
and
would
they
you
want
like
to
to
see
know
them
about
in
it?
what dye you use. for
Oh,
the tag?
I
Was
use
that the
the
Elizabeth
same
Crafts?
same one as I did for the box, the
Oh,
Elizabeth
the-
Craft.
Okay.
It's just that when it was too big, too long, so I just simply cut off about 3/4 of an inch off the bottom.
Okay, and this is the
And-
one that Diane used?
Yes, yep,
And
Diane
it is
showed
sold
yesterday.
out, but she's going to be ordering more, so that's no problem.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's perfect. This
The width, yeah.
But the length was too much, like I said, so I
you
just
can
cut off a
easily cut
little
'em
bit.
off.
Well, yeah.
With any tag.
Yep. And I think sometimes we get so focused on what we have, we forget we can modify it. Or I do anyway.
Right.
So,
And okay, Jennifer's asking, yes, we will put all the dimensions on the blog. That's not a problem. And they just want to peek at the mint and mistletoe one more time. So I don't know if you still have it. The mint and tomorrow's project.
oh, yeah.
Chris has got it. We'll just grab it and you can see it. It is, it's a kit. It is available now, and tomorrow we'll show you more about it. It's it makes 4 cards. It's just a different color scheme or color combination for the holidays, and that's kind of what I liked about it. So there's 4 cards, and then there's a folio that uses white file folders. And we're going to show you how to do the folio. I will actually put a folio together, and you have directions for that in the kit, and that's Katie's design, and then you also will have directions on how to decorate it.
I
So
love just adding that bow
Isn't
on
that
there,
fun?
Kelly.
it's just cute. I
yes.
was very inspired by the whole thing. And you can add your photos and your memories, and you've got some extra tags you can put in. So
These are adorable.
that is tomorrow's video. So now everyone knows what we're doing tomorrow,
Yes.
which is perfect.
Tune in, because this is amazing.
Okay, the measurements will be, a lot of people want your measurements,
okay.
Chris. So the measurements will be on the blog. We'll get pictures to Janet. You know, it takes a little time.
I don't know if you want to show
Oh, yes.
this, and that way if they want to take
If you're anxious and you want to get going on it, here are the measurements for the mugs. And Chris was so wonderful. She's got both sizes there. So you could try making both sizes if you want.
Well, yeah, because you might like one size over the
Exactly.
other, and that's why I did both. And then this is for the box.
So there's the box. Let me get back a little bit. Is all the paper included? Yes, you get in the kit for the folio, for mint and mistletoe, you get everything you need except, you know, adhesive and trimmer and scissors. But you get everything else, the ribbon, the twine. I would probably add some glitter or some Nouveau drops or maybe some gems. And maybe I can do that tomorrow on the video to show everybody. So
Do you know if you used gathered twigs, or did you use vintage
I use
photo?
pumice stone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a different one
wow.
for me, Chris.
It works beautifully
does.
with it, though.
So
Nice.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. People have loved today.
Good.
I'm happy we can keep doing these videos and bringing you all these little tips and tricks and projects and directions. And we will be back tomorrow for Friday. So have a
Yay.
wonderful crafty day, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.